On time, so I'm going to get started, okay? So our next speaker is Donna Duffey. She's a professor and department chair of entrepreneurship at Johnson County Community College. Donna Duffey joined the faculty at Johnson County Community College in 1987, and prior to that, she was working in retail management at Macy's. She has 17 years of executive experience in retail management. And at JCCC, she's a full-time professor and department chair. And as you know, almost all the entrepreneurship certificates have been, in one way or the other, they have been done by Donna Duffey and her team, okay? And Ms. Duffey holds a BS in fashion merchandising from Wisconsin State University, Stout, and MBA from Baker University. External to JCCC, she has been actively involved in the National Association of Community College Entrepreneurship, serving on its board of advisors. Additionally, she has been actively involved in the Association of Collegiate Business Schools and Programs since 1995 and served as a president of the board of directors during the 2001-2002 academic year. Ms. Duffey has also published numerous articles on entrepreneurship programming at the community college level and has developed and presented over 30 regional and national conference presentations in the last several years. She has helped me quite a bit because, whenever I have chair-related questions, she's the person I go and talk to. And she has provided assistance to numerous community colleges across the country in the development of the entrepreneurship programming initiatives. And today she's going to talk about small business, how you can develop, or rather build your own small business. Thank you, Donna.
You are so welcome. Turn down Leica when she asks you to do a presentation for her. So it is truly an opportunity for me to be here. You want to mic me up? Is that what you're trying to do? Do you want to? Can you hear me? Okay. Can they hear me next door?
Yeah.
Do you want them to hear me next door?
Yeah, might be better.
Okay.
That's okay.
It's okay with me. Yeah. Our technical moment.
So title of the talk exactly is going to be make money with your passion. So
I think most people like to talk about making money.
of course I do too.
I think so too. Well, first of all, it is a pleasure to be with you this afternoon, and I know that I had a group of students this afternoon who got out of class early as well for this, so they were most thrilled that you invited me to do this. So there's benefits all around. But I wanted to share with you a little bit about what I thought we could talk about today that might be helpful for you as we kind of think about how we can incorporate entrepreneurship with some of the things that you are looking to do or are doing. I wanted to share with you a little bit about our Entrepreneurship Center here at the college. I wanted to share with you a little bit about why we think entrepreneurship education is important in community colleges. I wanted to tell you a little bit about the student audiences that we get in entrepreneurship, because I can tell you they're literally right now from 16 years old to 74 years old. So we have quite a range going on there, and quite a group of very, very interesting people. I wanted to tell you what the opportunities are here at the college to refine some educational opportunities in entrepreneurship, but then also to kind of define what that is. I wanted to share with you what some of the most significant opportunities and challenges are that entrepreneurs are facing today, and also to share with you what some very key characteristics are for successful entrepreneurs. And I think if we can kind of think about some of those things, we certainly might be able to enjoy our afternoon together. A mission statement that we have for the Center for Entrepreneurship here at the college is that we are here to train both aspiring and existing entrepreneurs. And I think that's a particularly important thing to think about, both aspiring and existing entrepreneurs. Because an entrepreneur's life certainly might start with planning that particular business and and developing that particular idea. But successful entrepreneurs, their ideas are always evolving, and their businesses consistently need to change and to stay on top of what's happening within their field, within their communities. The fact that you are here today is demonstrating that you are interested in addressing that particular opportunity. So we do have an entrepreneurship center. That entrepreneurship center happens to be in this building. It literally is on the second floor. Specifically, what it houses are the credit program offices, a student organization office, but also here at the college we happen to have one of the 8 small business development centers for the state of Kansas is right here at Johnson County Community College and literally in this building. Now, why that's important to you is to kind of think about, first of all, the mission from the credit side, and then I want to share with you a little bit about the mission from the non-credit side. Clearly on the credit side, we're here to support and deliver quality credit programming, and certainly to put that out there in formats that students are interested in. I highlighted a couple of these. We have 5 of them, but 2 of them I think are particularly important, and that third one, to continuously explore and implement initiatives that weave entrepreneurship throughout this particular institution. What I can share with you is we have entrepreneurs all over this institution, of which horticulture and sustainable ag are certainly wonderful programs to be able to partner with. But we also have students that are interested in reaching their entrepreneurial dream and creating their entrepreneurial venture that are in the fashion design program, that are in the interior design program, that are in web design, that are in hospitality. And so when students are in classes, in entrepreneurship classes, they're with students from all over campus. And one of the really fascinating things about that, certainly from a teaching perspective, but also for those particular students, you find them hiring each other over the course of the semester. One student's business idea can benefit another student's business idea. And so I think there's lots of collegiality that develops as a result of that. On the non-credit side, the SBDC's mission, or the Kansas SBDC mission statement, clearly their tagline is Growing Kansas Entrepreneurs. Well, they are here to facilitate or impact economic vitality within the state of Kansas amongst small business owners. So with that being said, they are dealing dominantly with existing entrepreneurs, while the credit program is dealing dominantly with aspiring entrepreneurs. So, and I did put on there, a little bit about where some of that funding comes from, just for fun, so that you do know that. Oh, you are so good to me, my friend. I also think it is interesting and important for us to focus on why entrepreneurship programming is important for community colleges. And if you think about it, and think about it as you're a taxpayer that is supporting this particular institution through your tax dollars, but you want your community to have economic vitality. You want your community to have jobs, to create wealth. You want people to be able to open their own businesses. You want others to be able to be employed by those businesses. But overall, you want economic vitality. What we do believe is that community colleges tend to be, regardless of where they are in the country, but for their communities, they tend to be kind of that engine for local economic development. And if you believe that a more educated society is generally a more sustainable society, then it would also lead to supporting entrepreneurship education. I think the other thing that is significant, certainly from a taxpayer's viewpoint, is you're paying for the education to occur for students that are here, but it's interesting for you to know that the majority of those students stay within this community. So the businesses that they develop and the jobs that they create and the wealth that they create are typically for this community. That's something that differentiates community colleges from quite a few four-year institutions. And if you think about what you may have done with your own academic life, you may have gone off someplace and gathered a degree or whatever, or a group of courses, and came back and utilized that information back home, or what was your next step in life. But with community colleges, the majority of students stay within our community. So if we train them, and we train them well, then we are impacting economic vitality. It's fun to think about some of those students. I indicated to you that, just one demographic, the age of, literally we have 16-year-olds, we have two 16-year-olds in one section of the entrepreneurship courses this semester. And last semester we had a lady that was 74 years old. So that's our range. But typically, students that are in our classes are no different than the average age for the colleges total, which is about 27, 28. But just kind of categorizing some of these student audiences. We have quite a few students that are just out of high school. And that's certainly an aspiring entrepreneur audience. Some of them have a good idea, even some clarity about why they want to start an entrepreneurial venture. But from an instructional viewpoint, it's also true that some of those students that are right out of high school, they will tell you that they want to be an entrepreneur. And when you question them about it, what they tell you is they want to be an entrepreneur because they don't want to work for someone else. Well, that's kind of a default reason. So doing something because you don't want to do something else is usually not the best reason to go pursue something. So with that particular group of students certainly that's not at all of the high school students, but for that particular audience. But let's think about what some of those students have experienced in their lifetime, in their home life. They may have experienced a situation where a parent was laid off, or maybe laid off multiple times. They may have experienced situations where there was some animosity in the household regarding particular companies that might be in our community. So there might be some negative feelings that have been in their household about working for someone else. Well, while those are real and we can understand those, from an academic viewpoint, we still need to help those students understand what is it going to take to be a successful entrepreneur. We do have a lot of dual enrollees, certainly students that are both in high school and in community college at the same time. That is certainly a growth trend all over campus. But also true is students that are going to multiple colleges at the same time. Now that's a national trend as well. And what we're finding is that students that want to better themselves through education, if you as an institution don't have what they want, they will piece it together from multiple institutions. And they do that quite well. So we certainly have students that are going to more than one institution. We have students that are coming back to their community college that already have an associate degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and even PhDs that are coming back to a community college. Now, commonly that's for a variety of different reasons. It might have been, especially at the bachelor's level right now, we do know that a study from the Coffin Foundation in 2010 indicated that some 70% of graduates from four-year institutions weren't finding jobs and wished that they had been told that entrepreneurship might be a career option in your life, but hadn't had that introduced to them. So we know that persons are getting out of school not finding jobs. We also know that certainly there are people that don't feel that they are acceptably employed. We do know that many people who are employed don't feel a self-gratification. We know that there are some people that are entrepreneurs that are working within corporate structures that don't feel that they're getting adequate recognition. And kind of humorously, but a reality as well, we do have students coming to classes that have truly mastered a skill, but they have absolutely no idea how to generate any revenue off of that skill. And so if you think about, and we won't use a horticulture example at all in this, but if I use the term starving artist to you, and that is certainly a term that we've all heard, and heard numerous times, there's probably some truth to that. So people that are passionate about a skill but have absolutely no business acumen. Now conversely, we have people that think they're great leaders and great managers, but they have absolutely no idea what they want to manage, or a skill that they may have mastered. A very positive opportunity, and this is actually a growth category that we're experiencing right now, are students that are living in a household that has a family business. Now, if we think about this as a community, I think that we have a responsibility as a community to help those family businesses understand and grow over time and create succession plans for that particular family business. From an economic vitality viewpoint, if you do not do that, what happens is that those family businesses exit your community. They either just go away, or they're sold to somebody else, and somebody else doesn't particularly care to stay in your community. And so oftentimes they just go away. Family businesses, however, can also be a bit of a challenge. There's certainly some competition in family businesses, but yet the opportunities for succession planning far exceed any negatives that might exist. On a not as happy topic, but one that certainly we have experienced as a result of the economy, is certainly displaced workers, certainly people that feel that they are underemployed, are looking to reinvent themselves, people that have retired that now need to unretire. Perhaps their finances did not last as they had intended that they would. And I also think one of the things that we're experiencing here at the college, and it's just a fabulous opportunity for us, is to be able to help our returning veterans reinvent themselves as they come back. One of the things that I didn't know until having worked with some of this, in the state of Kansas, Johnson County Community College has the second highest number of veterans of any public institution, 2-year or 4-year, in this state. And the only one that exceeds it is K-State, which sits, of course, right next to Fort Riley. So we'll have to give them that, I think. But I do think we have such an opportunity here to work with our returning veterans. I thought that it might be helpful if I just kind of defined entrepreneurship for you. And if we think about entrepreneurship as this mindset, if you will, consistently thinking and acting in ways where you uncover opportunities, and that those opportunities provide value. I've often heard speakers say and authors say that entrepreneurs are really problem solvers. They find opportunities and they find a solution for those opportunities. So that happens to be one definition there. So who's the entrepreneur that's participating in entrepreneurship? Well, they're that individual that develops that new or improved. And one of the things that's terribly important here, some people think that entrepreneurs have to have something that is totally new, that's never been heard of, ever before, when the realities are the majority of things are improvements. They're modifications. They're a slightly better way to do something than something may have been done before. But an entrepreneur also is the one that does take that risk, and typically those risks are most commonly addressed in terms of financial risks. But they also are time investment risks, they're relationship risks. There's quite a few risks that they take. What we feel is that risks, if you educate people, risks are not necessarily difficult. An educated risk can be something you can accomplish, and it doesn't have to have negative implications to it. You know, when you hear people say that, oh, entrepreneurs, they're just those crazy risk takers. Well, I don't really think that's true. I think successful entrepreneurs are educated risk takers. And that's the way we kind of like to think about it. So why is entrepreneurship important? Well, it's important because entrepreneurs innovate, and innovation is what's central to economic growth. So hopefully that might help. I thought that if I sort of shared with you what some of the opportunities are that we feel successful entrepreneurs experience, certainly that opportunity to be your own boss, to be the man, not work for the man, that sort of thing. There's good feelings that people get from that. To be able to make a job, not take a job, that certainly is something that that speaks to successful feelings or opportunities that people have. They're clearly, for successful entrepreneurs, they can certainly reap financial rewards, but also psychic rewards. When you realize that you have created something, you have solved a problem that has made the life of others better, the life of your community better, kind of reaching that American dream. I think there's certainly some positives there. So that's some of the opportunities, but it's also important to look at what some of the challenges are, or kind of the realities of the life of an entrepreneur. Well, the realities are it can be pretty lonely. Most entrepreneurs, when they start, it's home-based, and they're their own boss. They're also their only employee. They take all the phone calls, they drive all the deliveries, they do everything. And sometimes, the only person they're really talking to is themselves. And so it becomes an opportunity for us here at the college to create perhaps affinity groups or places and spaces where people that are entrepreneurs can meet and address particular issues. A clear challenge common to most entrepreneurs are the multiplicity of things that you have to know at least a little bit about. And you certainly have to know a little bit about legal issues. You certainly have to know a little bit about the financials. You certainly have to know about marketing issues, about management issues. So the courses that we have kind of address all of those things. Some entrepreneurs tend to find themselves relatively shocked over the realities of the time investment, especially on the front end. So the realities of time commitment are certainly one of those things. The realities of poor decisions. They're the ones that pay. It's not like you can shuttle that off to anyone else. So those happen to be perhaps some of the challenges involved with it. But I think if I were to tell you what some of the really key characteristics are, that what makes entrepreneurs successful, it can really, truly warm your heart. But it also helps, I think, students realize whether this is really for them or not. Entrepreneurship requires a mindset that recognizes that you have the power to choose, but also you have to own your own choices. If you make negative choices in your life, they are going to impact you down the road. Some of the things we have to talk to students about are, if you get in trouble with the law, it's probably going to make a difference
in whether you can be successful, whether you can even open a business. If you don't care about managing your personal finances and you have a bad credit rating, you know, there could be a problem in you being successful. So it's that mindset of the choices that we make. We need to own those choices, and we need to recognize what those choices are going to do moving forward. Successful entrepreneurs also have a very strong ability to recognize opportunities. I indicated to you that many entrepreneurs are really referred to as problem solvers. A lot of entrepreneurial ideas are born out of a problem. And if we just kind of think about, I mean, if we just thought about, you know, the horticulture industry, you know, what are the problems that are out there that entrepreneurs can help solve today? You know, what does it mean to the landscape industry? What does it mean to the landscape maintenance industry? What does it mean in terms of sustainable agriculture today? So what are those opportunities? If we recognize them, don't dwell on the fact that they might be a problem, but focus on how we can solve that problem. That's what entrepreneurs do well. Entrepreneurs also have the ability to move an idea to action. Now that may sound relatively simple, but I think every one of us could name 100 people in our life that have always said things like, well, I should have had that money. I had that idea. You know, they're always pointing at something, well, I knew that. Well, you may have known that, but you never did anything about it. So entrepreneurs are able to take an idea and move it towards an action. Entrepreneurs also recognize that if they are going to have a sustainable business, that they must learn, continue to learn, be committed to lifelong learning. Think about people that are in this industry that don't ever bother to come to a trade show, that don't ever bother to talk to people that are significant in their industry, that are making a difference. Well, the fact that people are here today is saying that they're committed to lifelong learning within their chosen field. Lifelong learning, certainly within one's chosen field, is one thing, but also lifelong learning in terms of awareness. Thinking about and always being attuned to what's happening around us. What opportunities occur as a result of having effective networks, visiting with people, learning about what their thoughts and ideas are, and being able to translate those to problems that we can solve. Entrepreneurs also have to be persistent. Persistent does not mean arrogant. It doesn't mean bullying. It doesn't mean, well, any of those negative words. But what persistence means is successful entrepreneurs are focused on their vision, they are focused on their goal, and every day they are trying to move forward to that particular goal. Effective entrepreneurs also understand that they have to build and value and protect what I would call their brand. And you might think that I'm thinking about branding as being logos and, you know, the right shirt and, you know, that sort of thing, and that certainly is part of it. But what I really think is terribly important when we think about protecting a brand for a sustainable business, the kinds of things that I'm talking about are values, integrity, honesty, consistency. Does everybody in that entrepreneur's business believe and understand what those things mean to the brand? if those things are not done, that brand will not sustain itself. And you won't have people that recognize this particular company as the leader in this particular industry. I think the other thing that is very meaningful for successful entrepreneurs is to recognize that there is a payback that's necessary to their community. That their community has served them, their community may have helped educate them, they may have helped fund some of their initiatives, but there are times when our community also needs things back from us. And successful entrepreneurs understand that there's a time to pay forward, and they in fact get up and do that. And so I think those are some of the significantly important characteristics that entrepreneurs do need to possess. So my thoughts then would be, so if that's the case, then what should an action plan be for people that are interested in entrepreneurial success? And I guess what I would say is, be sure that you are absolutely fabulous at the skill that is important to you. That not only do you value it and you love it, but you are good at it. So master that skill. Educate yourself about what the necessary business issues are that would surround that, and then commit yourself to lifelong learning. So that's what I would kind of suggest as perhaps an action plan. Not to make a commercial, but these happen to be the courses that we do offer here at the college. For the horticulture students and the sustainable ag students, the ones that are at the top three are the ones that we do encourage all students that are in those programs, that are interested in starting an entrepreneurial venture, to take those particular courses. Introduction to Entrepreneurship is an overview of that multiplicity of areas that entrepreneurs will need to know about. So it covers a little bit of finance, a little bit of legal, a little bit of marketing, a little bit of management, clearly enough to know that there are places that entrepreneur may realize that they can manage themselves, and also other places where they may realize that they need to have someone consulting with them on a particular issue or category of knowledge. The other courses that are on there are additional courses that we do offer in the program, and certainly horticulture students are absolutely welcome to be in any of those. We do have an Associate of Applied Science degree program. We do have a 34 credit hour program, and that 34 credit hour program is really designed for those people that already have associate degrees or bachelor's degrees. They already have all that gen ed stuff, but they don't have any business background at all or any entrepreneurship background. It's really for liberal arts majors that can find a job, is what that one amounts to. And then we do have this business plan certificate, which is those three courses, those top three courses, that intro, opportunity analysis, and fast track business plan. So I told you what intro was. What opportunity analysis is it's recognizing opportunity and analyzing the feasibility of that opportunity. So it's looking at yourself. So do I have the skills, the talents, the education, the background, the experience to do this, whatever it is I want to do? But whatever it is I want to do, does anybody care that I want to do it? So does my environment want that particular product or service? So, would they come to the party, I guess is another way to put that. We also do feature the Kauffman Foundation's Fast Track Business Plan course here. That happens to be clearly one of the best-selling courses that we do have here. And the Fast Track courses are something that the Kauffman Foundation has owned that trademark for a number of years. And there's a variety of different products that they have under that. But this particular course is the one that they have designed for collegiate credit level audiences. So that's what we do teach here. I think that this is just simply an illustration to say to you that entrepreneurship is throughout this campus. and these are students that we do attract throughout the whole group, throughout the whole campus. I wanted to cover for you what some of the services are that the SBDC does offer. We talked about the fact that that SBDCs offer consulting services. They also, and those are free for existing businesses, and they do also offer a number of workshops. We do offer the business plan certificate, or those 3 courses, in an accelerated format as well. And we happen to be doing that now for, I think, the 6th semester on Fridays from 8 to 5. And if you stick around for 11 Fridays with us, we'll get you a business plan certificate in 11 Fridays. And that's a little bit about that. But I think more importantly is to say to you and to say to you, Leica, I thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to your group today. So thank you.